Right, so this is another episode of the Bible podcast, and today we're talking about the African tradition and religion. You know, there's a school of thought that, Charlie, anything African, anything traditional is evil, no?
Yeah.
I was going to say fetish, but if I don't say it well, some people will think I'm.
No,
Boy,
no,
we are continuing.
it's not the
It's okay. We have in our midst a priest, a lovely one who is from. He has a traditional background, or we are allowed to say because he's from a royal family. Please, I'm saying what's your own? Charlie, I'm not taking violence this year, man. Yeah, and maybe you've met him before. We have again Reverend Father Dennis Jojo. That's why. From I'm not trying. we also dances. Let's welcome him. Charlie, welcome for again. No, that's why. Father, my women, you see, you are the brain pass like. So what comes to mind when you hear about the traditional religion, like libation, raffia?
It is the reason for your not progressing in life. Because your ancestors. Ancestral case, because your ancestors did it, that's why you're not going for it.
That reminds me of this guy. This guy from Kumasi, this guy Konfunochi.
Yeah.
You know Konfunochi? He said he dug something, the sword, and there's that's what comes to mind when I hear about the traditional religion. What comes to mind? What comes to mind?
African.
Libation, yeah.
I mean, these days we do
incantations, right?
Yeah, but our priests, especially in the southern side, we give them beef stuff over their chasuble.
And sometimes they even put this thing. I think this thing is traditional.
Yes.
So for that, today we are talking about the African tradition and religion, more specifically the Christian
religion.
Catholic.
Yes. How would you want to put one as better than the other?
It's very technical question. But as Christians, we would like to start from the Bible, and from the book of Hebrews chapter 1. We are being told that in the past God used a lot of means and ways to speak to our ancestors, but nowadays He has used it through His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. He has spoken to us. So from that passage, it captures everything, all the other religions that we find ourselves in, most especially in the African traditional religion and the various practices. It's a way a group of people want to relate to their God. So it involves a lot of things, prayer, even the way they eat, how they dress, and those kind of things. Because your relations with the supernatural decide everything. The pillar for everything, your economy, your politics, the political institutions, your international relations, everything. So in the African traditional religion, not everything about it that is bad. You have to take it. Not everything about it that is bad. There are a lot of good things we can learn and pick from them. As much as the religion can also improve and then learn a lot of things from the Catholic faith or from the Christian one. And to say that Christianity is better than African traditional religion is just a simple way of looking at things. But as a student of religion, I will not be permitted to say that one religion is better than the other. We cannot say that, because when you say that, you are looking down upon somebody's religion, and you have to, when you are learning about religion, you listen to the people practicing it, how they see it, and how they say their religion is. So you don't go to people to say that mine is better. No. But if the person sees anything good in yours and come to embrace it, that is it for you. And that is why we do evangelization. But we are not doing evangelization to tell people that ours is better, but we are presenting ours as we see it. And if the people, through the grace of God, come to that realization that now you have to embrace and accept this new way of life, that is good for them. So, and I think the African traditional religion was a way that God used to speak to our people. And how did it come about? You look at most of the principles and the philosophies in there, you realize that it is just a search of our ancestors, a search in understanding the supernatural. So they will come upon a very big tree and it meets their imagination. And they see a kind of awe around this tree and they start worshiping the tree. So it's not the tree that they are worshiping, but it is rather that kind of mystery around it. And is it anything different from what Paul would tell us in Romans chapter 1, verse 19 to 21? That by observing the orderliness in nature and the beauty of nature, you must be able to know that there is a God. Is it not the same thing our people, our ancestors were observing nature through nature? They were there were questions that they couldn't answer.
Yeah.
And for them, these questions could never be but a certain supernatural being that they never knew. So they went through a lot of means to communicate with this supernatural. As much as we cannot say that Christianity is better than them, there are a lot of things that Christianity can also do. You get my point there? Because in Christianity, we say that our sins have been paid for, purchased with the precious blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. So that today there will not be any need for doing these bloody sacrifices of goat, cattle, those kind of things. And then the message of revenge. Like Christianity is built on forgiveness, but African traditional religion is not like that. That instantaneous justice. But our God is merciful. Mind you, that mercy is like a clawback on the justice of God. The reason why I'm saying that justice, God is just, but because of His love, He has given us that opportunity of mercy that upon everything, if we deserve to be punished, yet I will spare you that. That doesn't mean that the justice is not there. But when it comes to African tradition, it's like you do it, you should go, right? You pray for the retributive justice, those kind of things. And these Christianity cannot learn from them. But there are a lot of the sense of the divine. The sense of the divine. You know, among the African traditional religion, if they say that this stream on this day, nobody should go there. Nobody will dare go there. But today, Christian, we want to know why. But over there, it's not about why. If we have that sense of the divine around us, I don't think Galamseys and a lot of things will be happening today. No serious African traditional religion will go and mine or go closer, do anything wrong around the stream. Because they know that there is a divine, there's a God in there. So for them, God is all over them. God is very close to them. But Christianity today, our God is far away from us. And so when we are even sinning, we try to check.
Can we see him?
So, but for the traditional man, God is closer to him. So he doesn't need to check He knows that if he wants to do that body, he will do it. But he knows the consequence will come there and then.
Will it be? Yes. Will it be? No.
Oh, the man,
Where?
Trapping on
Why?
trapping back.
What yourself?
Ever say your colonial masters did not colonize you? Would you have known Christianity?
Yes, we'll have known that. Because before, you see, before Christianity in Europe, what was Europe? They have their various ways of religion. Europe was evangelized. By Peter, by Paul. And you realize that in a point in our history as Christians, Africa evangelized Europe. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And if you do proper Africa civilization, they were coming as far as Mali, the old Ghana Empire, Timbuktu, the first university in Africa. That's where they were learning. St. Augustine's, the North Africa countries were centers of Christendom. St. Tertullian, we have all of them. Yeah, Africans. And great theologians. They were in charge of evangelizing people in Europe. So we didn't need them to come and make us Christians. You get the point? Even at the point in Ethiopia, if you are considering Africa, Ethiopia is still part of Africa. It is in the book of the Acts of the Apostles. They, from Ethiopia. So he had a message. Africa knew Christianity, they knew Jesus Christ long time before the European came here. But what happened was that because of the agenda of our colonial masters, of colonization, which was about trade. So Christianity was, for me, it was a kind of a byproduct of their mission in Africa. But the intention was not to come and evangelize you and I. So every time I'm talking about Christianity in Africa, for me, I'm saying that we are a byproduct. We started from a wrong foot. It was not like in Europe and other centers that people were Paul was sent purposely to Rome for that. But these people came to trade. And because they are Christians, their countries made sure that if you are going, go with a priest or a pastor, a chaplain. So all the ships that came had chaplains. And the chaplains were not to come and minister to the people. Yes. To the whites and the Europeans that came. So the people saw the new way of worshiping and doing their new things, and they began, if you are even reading proper history, you are reading the Psalms and all, they will tell you that the Europeans never asked, especially the British, they never asked to rule Ghanaians.
That's sure. It was the African.
It was the Africans. We requested for it, but they realized that the justice system of these people were good. So when they would do something bad in the community, they are chasing them to be killed. They would run to the forts and the castles. So it got to the point that the majority of the people were like, "Oh, we prefer these people." But for them, the agenda was to come and. That's the true history of Ghana. But sometimes.
Malanga, it's good. Maybe we can have another podcast on, because these days there are these Pan-African.
I'm not the
good person. There's this Pan-Africanist movement that paints. They kind of like lumping.
Catholics for Pan-Africanism.
they lumping colonialism and Christianity as one unit. So they like the colonialists use Christianity to enslave us.
Because you look at it, when they came there, let's take Ghana for example, they came around the 15th century, the 16th and 16th centuries, and they couldn't survive. The priests that even came with the traders, they died and those kind of things. So I learned that even the Antoine, the god of Kumasi, it was like the part of their statue of Saint Anthony. Yeah, that's some history that I read somewhere, that the Antoines are like Anthony. So when some of the traders came there, they realized that the white people they used to pray to Saint Anthony, that statue, and they were getting results. And so when they were going back, when they couldn't survive, they went and they left the thing there. It was like broken from, they took part of it to Antoine, and it became that kind of Antoine. I don't know how
possible it could be true. I saw a documentary sometime. So they had, it was a tradition, I don't remember exactly where. They had a shrine, and then they had like a god or a deity in a statue form inside the shrine. So there was a white guy doing a documentary, and then when he went inside to bring out what was inside, it was like a white person. So he the one doing the documentary couldn't understand how
that statue,
that statue was like that. But it was the make of a white person. So there could be a linkage.
If you should delve into the history of colonialism in Africa, it's so beautiful. But Father, we want to go into the part where we are bringing those traditional rights, those traditional practices into the church.
They are already in the church.
Yeah. So what would we say that these are things that are being practiced that find cultural assimilations or similarities to yeah.
So before you answer, can you take us let's take it from the point of the Jews. So the church from the Jewish religion, then the Jews moved to, I mean, they had to go to Rome because at that point Rome was the center of the world. So then they picked some culture from the Jews, and then to the Romans, and then today we kind of like do things in our own way. Or the Roman culture formed a lot of the church culture.
Yeah.
So can you take it from the Jews, Romans, and then how it plays in our own setting?
So you realize that the beauty about the Christian, that's why in our first episode I was talking about we, the people, we have to be out there, open ourselves up, allow the Spirit to, and then the times and the season. One thing about Christianity, the beauty of it is that Christianity has one message, but the forms of expressions are different, and they are all dependent on the times and the seasons. So you know that St. Paul, a great apostle of Bible standard, went to a certain town and he walked through the town. You realize that this town, these people were worshiping a lot of idols, and every corner he went, there was a god there, but there was that God with his description, the unknown God, and he used that to preach it. The whole community converted to Christianity, and he told them that you people, you already know this God that I'm bringing. That God that you call unknown God is that God that I'm bringing to you. But you know him already. He serve you. So it's like the sense is every day looking at the times of the season to bring and it to adapt and adopt everything good in the cultures that it finds itself. So you talk about the Jews, you realize that that's where they started. So we have the Peter, the Simon, the Andrew, all of them. They were all Jews. So all their thinking were Jews. It got to the point that they have to spread out from Jerusalem, then to Samaria, to Assyria, to even to Rome. Then the language, what was the language at the time? That was easily understood by everybody. So they have to speak the language. Whereas at the time, Greek was a common language. So the Old New Testament, all their writings mostly were in Greek. Then it got to the point that the Roman took over their system of governance. So we have the Pope, like the structure, the hierarchy, all those kind of things. They are all influenced by the Roman empire. For the empire, and at the empire we have the governors, like those in charge of the provinces. The diocese that we have is like, for the Romans, it was a province for them. And somebody will be there who reports to the emperor. And under him, you have the military commanders who are in charge of the districts. So under the bishop, you have the parish priests who are like the district administrators and those kind of things. So the whole structure is just by the Romans, how they did their things all over there. So that's one aspect. Then their language, because that was the language that was the medium of expressing yourself throughout the Roman Empire. So why would it be the essence of speaking Greek when the person next to you cannot understand? So Latin became the order of the day. And it got to the point that we were so strict that you have to speak Latin. Whether you understand it or not, you have to speak Latin. So all these have influence or had influence on Christianity. Then in our day now today, as Ghanaian Catholics, we cannot be done to be Ghanaian. The very moment we decide to be European Catholics in Ghana, you are doomed forever, and there will not be Christianity. So you cannot go to church and say that people should not dance. No, that's not a Ghanaian. You cannot go to church and say that people should not, like, over there they are very individualistic. They don't care about who will not come to church. But you realize that most people, I do say that I've not done research on that, but my few experiences, I can say that most of the people who leave the church, I didn't really hear that the preaching was not good. I don't believe that there is Jesus Christ in the UKs. But when I was sick, but over there they will not care. You'll be in your room and you die. Nobody cares. But here, if you're a Christian, you don't visit your people. It's a big thing.
Yes.
No matter how you feel now, but you feel like you didn't go. Just you didn't go.
You can be reported to your bishop.
Yes. Somewhere where they will not think about welfare, funeral welfare. But funeral welfare is a big thing, and the Pentecostals, they are hammering on that. They pay a lot to their people, and the pressure, oh, the church, what can you do? So welfare. But elsewhere, they are not thinking about welfare. And you get my point. So these are all the things that we are bringing in. Then on the actual traditional practices, we see drumming coming in there, and then even the different types of drumming. I have never seen a Christian drums before. I have never seen that. If there is, but all the drums that we have in Ghana, they have those that we can call the traditionally. They are in the palaces or in their shrine. You go to the palace, the front from instead the pan, those kind of things. The tom, they are all even the leather. The leather, where did we get them from? In the skin, from them, we get them from there. So these are all the issues that and now our dressing that we dress. Some people, okay, they want to come in their corporate dress, but from Monday to Friday, you are in the tie and the suits, and Sunday you want to come in. So it's part of the dysfunctional.
No other father came in.
This one off camera. I don't like the catwalk is off. Yeah, but hardly. For me, it's not an African way. There should be an African way of doing things. But you go to Europe, you are not allowed to be in a white castle. Why? Because of their weather. So you have to be in black. When our bishops went to Rome, you saw them. When they are here, they are in their cream and they are white and they are like, when they went there, they are in black. They are in coats and they are in it. But that's their culture. So when they come here, you have to be like a Ghanaian. And the reason why we are not making maybe a lot of impact is that we are not learning our culture to know the places that we can improve upon them and adopt them, infuse them. And that is the essence of Vatican II calling for inculturation. Inculturation doesn't mean that the message should be diffused or changed into that traditional system, but it's saying that the very good things we have in our traditional practices, let's uplift them. So our sense of love, neighborhood, our sense of brotherliness, sisterliness, those kind of things. How we care about nature. Can we go back to them and look at it? Or is it because I'm a Christian, when they say that on Thursday we don't visit the fire, I'm a Christian, I don't care. But hey, the science is telling us that you cannot work all the whole week. You cannot go to the same farm and do it every day. The same river, you are now fishing in there. You can at least close the seasons and open and those kind of things. You don't have to disturb the natural ecosystem. But now you are doing it. But I don't know whether the proper traditional man will have the courage to. But he knows that the river god will strike him or her. But today we don't care because I'll come to church to do the offertory and I pray for fun. The incense will be spread over all of us and we'll be protected against the demons.
Yeah. But I want to ask, so there's this thing about before you get to a bridge, you have to blow your horn. There are stories about several of these bridges that are over this whatever this is. It's like they tell you that hey, this bridge here, there's a deity there, there's a god there. So before you get there, we have to blow your horn. As a Christian, what am I supposed to do?
No. What you said is related to
with the dead bodies, you don't have to cross.
Not even that. When a car is crossing a river, olden days, before you cross, you blow the horn because the idea is that probably he has children there who are laughing. So you blow the horn and they will step aside for you to pass. So you seek your permission to pass.
Okay, is it not similar thing to coming to your office? I have to knock. I need permission to come to your place. So what is that fetish about that?
Doesn't anything fetish.
No, it's a belief. blowing the horn doesn't mean that I'm saying that, hey, cannot God, I worship you.
We have to respect other traditions or other cultures, other religions.
Not that respect all over, no, but those things that we can uplift. You see, these are a way of maybe they are trying to build a kind of a sense of respect towards these natural bodies. So, but how they will explain it, it's like you go to the certain village, they will tell you that this forest, you dare not enter. When you enter, you not come back again. So I would say that for some of us, we the money, I will enter and see. I entered and I came back. So now I can put the excavator in there. You see how it started?
Yeah.
But the proper understanding and the philosophy around it, maybe this forest is serving a great purpose for us. That's where we get the herbs. That's where we get the snails. Now you don't see the kusi and the grass cutter. You don't see them too. They are all gone. But when you get good grass cutter, and then you know that. You get the point there.
Yeah.
And so they will tell you all this, but they will put it in a kind of fearful, threatening way.
Yeah.
But beneath there's a kind of philosophy that if we had uplifted that and learned from that, we would have preserved a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Because these herbs, these medicine, the orthodox medicine, they are getting them. They are all from our herbs.
Right.
They are all from our herbs. There's no orthodox medicine that is not herbal. They picked it from the substance, the chemicals from the herbs. They refine them, and then they say that, oh, there's a new invention, there's a new that. But they are all from our herbs.
Yeah.
And then they are bringing the excavator to come and destroy
All the
all the herbs, so that we will still be relying more on them. But they know that we are learning. We can also do the same thing to extract these chemicals from the herbs if we have them, so that we will not buy from there anymore. So let's go there and kill and destroy everything. So the forests are gone, the rivers are gone. You go to the traditional system. Let's look at even how we do water distillation. The waters and Ghana Water Company they learn it naturally from the streams. Go to every proper stream in our countryside, in our villages. You see the different kind of stones down there. The foundations. You see the big ones, the small ones, and the water passing through the process of purification. When you go there, don't you see those stones over there?
Yeah.
Or when you are digging your own pipe there, the stones are there. So what is it? When you go there and you see that, when they are pouring libation, we think that they are doing something that is like devilish, demonic. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the knowledge of our people was not well explained to us. So we saw everything in the form of religion. But not all the practices were even religious. Yeah. Some of them were pure science and technology. Yeah. But how they explained them, they use, because they were religious in total, they use it to explain them off to us.
Or could we also say that because our people didn't know how to communicate to the white people, we were not able to deliver our practices well to them, and they felt that
Truth is, when the whites came, the people saw themselves inferior. So right from submission, they stopped submitting to their chiefs. So that indirect we faced, they gave themselves.
Because
it will surprise you to know that even traditional leaders were fighting the whites, McLean, because McLean abolished slavery.
Yeah.
Selling your own people.
Well, they yes. The money.
Yes.
So, and that's the reason why he did not stay.
Drinks. Was it Hill? It was Hill. Or Hill.
Commander Hill was Hill. Most of them. So you can't don't buy into their. That's it. Even when they began with the constitutional rule and this, if you don't listen to the chiefs, but the next morning you are moving away. So that African, we have been that greedy people and people all over the world relating with us, they have capitalized on this.
So we are delving so much into the history part. Yes. No,
Sorry.
Maggie was.
Maggie, you
So then we can, from what we are saying, we can say that traditional practices are not necessarily fetish,
No.
and that
There are lot that are not even rituals at all. They are just normal human way of living your life. Yeah.
these they were practices done to preserve our country and then also serve as rules and regulation or as form of government for us as people.
Yeah.
But then we
oh
thought.
yes, I'm in my father and I said.
She's trying to
get
No, she's trying to get
You have the this thing. Yeah. Again, you have that. You have but this one they are not fetish, right?
No.
Like you go to the person who made it.
I know the person, and they are like so personally I got them because they are like African traditional like symbol. This particular one,
Okay.
it was made in Koforidua.
Okay, but this one it was not made because it's like a silver something, metal something. That one is cool. Yeah. When you have it, but this one when you see this one, this one, when you're having this one because it's orthodox
form, is accepted more.
But when people see you with this one even in town, they are looking at you with
Yeah.
You are copying the wall. So that's how I happened.
So that brings me to anklets. In the olden days, the queen mothers, the royals, they were wearing anklets. Now,
Getting personal.
You put them
you are seen as
different.
I wear actually.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And it was not a cultural way of royalty.
Yes.
That kind of way. So how come that this thing today? I watched a video. Somebody sent a video of a pastor. I said, I listened after 10 minutes of this pastor. If I'm in heaven, you should have, but on the altar you should go. Thankfully, no Catholic priest would say that. I hope that one day no priest will. Yes, something. So when you speak like that, then you go to Manshia. No, I'm saying that when you let's say that you are a priest, you speak like that. You go to your village, and you see your queen.
Yeah.
In the full area in that. And do you say that your queen is a lesbian? Possessed.
We are Bema, vocation is all.
Then let's go to Manchester. The next one you see where you will be. Kumasi, they will tell you that you either leave Kumasi or Kumasi. They will tell you. But because we don't, the mistake we have is that we are not learning our culture. We are not learning our culture.
Yeah.
Even this thing that we are doing is social media. The reason why I'm happy, I had a lot to do, but I decided to come and I'll be praying for you to do it more than that. Most of the things on social media, most of the things we consume on the net, the content is not coming from us.
Yes.
The content is not coming from us. They are coming from out there. Yeah. Because we are not doing a lot of studies, we are not doing some of these things to know more about ourselves. So we know more about we are here, but we know more about London than Accra.
Yes.
We know more about
people have kept up the Kardashians.
Yes.
But their grandmother in the village, they don't know
They don't know their grandmother's name.
Yeah.
Even if you go and ask them to their family house, they don't know the names.
Yeah.
But they know the house number of Obama. Yes. Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah, personal attack.
Oh, that
as if it's referring to someone in big sweater or something.
And this money in my home, we have allowed ourselves to be lied to that we can live in a country and be focusing on our tribes and our ethnic groupings. But over there, they don't care about who you are. And you meet a white man, who are you? I'm a French. Yeah. I'm a British. I am Portuguese. Yeah. I am American.
Yeah.
But for all you know, he's an Irish American.
Yeah.
But you will never mention that he's an Irish American or whatever American or whatever British. He's a British. But you come to Ghana. Good morning. Now, probably. Oh, me, you're too for Nana. You see how our thinking has already been distorted. So these are all things that, if you are thinking about our culture, you should not be seeing everything to be evil. There are a lot of things in there for me that we can learn a lot. If find time to go and stay with your in your palace, your village palace, and go and listen to the wisdom. You can never find it in any book. I bet you. When they are in state and they are discussing issues of importance in the community, look at how they respect. You go there, the chief is as young as the last born of the linguist, the chief linguist, but you speak with Naname Pacho.
Yeah.
You go there, you see the wisdom. The chief is the last person supposed to talk. So all the great people around him, they will start talk, and then he will give the sentences. This OD chief is powerful. He's so wise. What has he done?
Just stop.
I conclude the summary or master. But today, look at how this happened. We sit on the record. So there are a lot we can learn from our people.
But I have a question. Bouncing on what you are saying. So that doesn't mean that as a Christian, if my family people should come to me that one person media kunya or don't come a chief, can I be a practicing Catholic and still
I know where you are going.
Yeah.
There was a church that spoke against and was castigating chieftaincy. Today they have a ministry of chieftaincy. Catholic Church, we have not started. And I want to start from that violence level.
You are successfully
You know that church?
No.
Pentecost Church.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a whole ministry. There is a directorate for chiefs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Chiefs in Ghana, that they belong to their church. There is a pastor for them. But before to be a Pentecost elder or whatever to become a chief, it was on head. Yeah. It's your family heritage. That's your family property. I used to tell my paramount chief that look, you know that this too is your family property, but my land over there is also my family property. As much as you fought for your own, and I be careful, don't come here, I'll fight you off. The father, but he said, yes, I know my family, and so let's live in peace. It's your family heritage. But the point is, when you get there, are you going to continue the old ways of doing things that they know? You got some of the abuses in there. When some of us don't get in, how will we change them? You go there and they will tell you that here, Father, I am come now. I was saying, what can they? And I can't there. Father, Mom, and capable of what can they come now? Then you or not, then Yaban said, no, I have to do the right things. But if you all stay away and then you allow for the evil people in your family to occupy the stool, by the time you go, you realize everybody is gone. And one thing you should know, whether you worship the African traditional religion or not, they will not spare you, they will not excuse you. You are champagne at the end of the year when he's giving the sacrifice. Well, listen to the name. You will be the Pope, you will be the first person. As I say, and they will mention all the ancestors. They will be thanking them for giving them the Pope in their family. And they will ask the gods to even protect you, the Pope, to do well. So you think you are in Vatican, you are doing the work for Jesus Christ. Down here, they don't care about whatever you're doing. They know they are God. Yes, the family, they have to pray for you. So unless we go in and then we teach them that, okay, instead of making this likely sacrifice of goat every year, can we have 1 year, 9 days novena, then getting to the end of the year? Or maybe a great grandparent that died, the anniversary, can we go to church? Can we do that? I tried in my family and it worked. Whenever there's somebody dead at 1 week, around 4 a.m., they will go and gather the house, they be crying and those kind of things. If you are witness that, if when I can't sleep, the whole community will come in. So one my aunt that I said, okay, we will go for mass, but mass is at 5:30, but we have to be at the church around 4:30. Father will come in and have a prayer for us and those. But she died in a certain circumstance that a lot of things are okay. Before that, then we agreed with my uncle that we will have prayer and fasting for 3 days. Then after the funeral, the children will say they can't sleep. So okay, every evening for 7 days, let's burn incense in the house. At the end of 7 days, the ghosts were not coming anymore. So even the little ones in the family, they prefer going to mass than to anything else in their life. They want to go to mass every day. And when I was with them, if you don't go to mass, I was like, one time you go to mass, my father, bye. Young girls, father, no, you are eating. You don't go to mass. So they start from somewhere, and it will surely have an impact.
It's true. The question you see when you go to Kumasi, St. Paul's, there is a chief who is a chorister.
Oh, but most of the 2-4 people, they are Catholics. Or 2-4 himself is a Catholic.
It's not Anglican at all.
No. Before he became a Catholic,
yeah.
Because there's 2 is for the Anglican, so once you occupy.
Yeah.
He used to worship at Grove Road. And he goes there, he has occasions that he visits the church.
Oh, okay.
In such instances, are there any restrictions to it? This we have beliefs in the churches about crowns, hats. Because there was a wedding, and I had the chief of Medina come in, and he's a nothing chief, and I think
Full area.
yes, and it was whether the ushers to tell him to hey yo you can take off here. So those are traditional, like those are So in the Catholic Church
You can't do that. The person that is for. Can you tell the judge to take away the wig?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't tell the Speaker of Parliament to. You make him be naked in public. You can't. But most of it, those who know, especially with the educated chiefs, they know that they are coming to church. So their dressing is more moderated.
Yeah.
If you see what 2-4 in church, they are more moderated. But when King Charles was being crowned and they were putting all the crowns, that one, nothing wrong. You saw the stone. You saw the stone. And you heard the history of the stone. The stone. That one, there was nothing wrong. But when it comes to our, and the black stool, the little that I know, yes, there is a lot of history that they can't share with you. But the blood that they used to sanctify is, it's for preservation. What is wood? But blood will make it last long. Yeah.
Blood is a preservative.
A lot of things have to do with science.
Yeah.
But what would the other use human blood?
But is it human blood?
It's not what I'm talking about.
Let's talk about it.
Even the old one, the profile that they use human blood. But the whole thing has to do with the preservation.
So, but even the Jewish people, but they did a lot of blood sacrifice.
They have the tabernacle,
Right.
and we have it today. Yeah. So that by we go, if you are comfortable standing in front of the people.
So, Father, we actually wanted to wrap up with things done in the Catholic Church that are traditional. So, I think before now there was a thought that the libation was very evil because of the nanum of that. I think incensing. I have seen some, not with a terrible, but this
In that earth well.
sometimes with that, and then there's this incense they actually burn.
Sort of.
And then so I wanted to draw whether we can draw a line between what is
Secret.
yes accepted or seen as able at the other side because it is done by or practiced by the traditional person and it's done in the church. But but we want to take that and then
He has said the basis right.
no, yes, we are just wrapping it up.
It's what is the direction?
Today, we don't have the pure form of our traditional practices because a lot of the practitioners, because of money, and they have added a lot of things. Because the proper conform whenever demand for money. the proper comfort that. And the comfort was a state priest. It's like a Catholic priest. He's taken care of by the palace. So he's in charge and he does things for the whole community free of charge. And if you want to go and give offering and thank you, that's the bad. But today you go put this down, do that, but so these are business people. They are not traditional African traditional, but they are maybe individual people calling up gods to
Warriors here,
warriors, demonic powers. When you go to a traditional home, the comfort will never even speak on critical matters and issues that will divide the community. Will never speak to individuals. They will go to the palace. If they have mercy, they will go and first speak and discuss with Nana for permission before they can speak. Because for them, Nana is like the chief priest. He is the intermediary between the boss the together. But today we have individuals who are using demonic powers and they are not proper. So these things that you are talking about, I've seen it. Somebody sometime ago brought something about this thing. Why would you like us to forgo our traditional incense? To then go and buy this synthetic something and then it's not another way of colonization. You know, you use our money to buy them, and we have the local ones. They are so devilish. We don't want them. So and the incense that we have, as we know, the Jewish people they use it. The cultures all over the way they use it. The church also is using them. So this is another traditional practice that or something they use in the traditional system that have found its way in the country. There are a lot that we can talk about them. Can you look at the bread that we use? It's not from the fruit of the earth. And the readings or the passage will tell you this you have given us out of the fruit of the earth and the human labor we present to you. So is it also tradition or something, or because it's about the Eucharist, that one is Christian? But who are those producing for us? Do you know the person whether he poured libation before he poured the meat and those kind of things? So these are all and the food people bring them to the offertory and those kind of things. So for me, I think that as a student of Pasisapon, we have to again learn more about our culture. See these things that we can, practices that we can uplift to the level of the gospel message, and those that we cannot, we have to discuss them. And then also, before we even start, you have to make a distinction between religion in an African way of life and the normal African way of life. The science, the technology aspect of it. Yes, they didn't know anything about iPhone 14 and Samsung S series and then the TV and all that. But they had a lot of science. They had a lot of technology in there. But they couch all this in a religious form and with a religious message. Can we now peel the veil and then know that this thing that they are talking about, hey, it was not a religious thing, but it was purely science to preserve our own life. So as people, can we find a way of living it and making it even better? Because all these things are to help us. And those that have that religious aspect that we think that we are to our detriment, we can just pray about them, get them off, discuss them. And those that they are to enhance human life and our relationships and our relations with God, let's uplift them to them for the better glory of the church, for the growth of the church.
Great. Alright, so that was it for today's topic on the African traditional religion and Christianity, specifically Catholicism, right? Yeah. We had Reverend Father Dennis Jojo Kwating, yes. From yours. So please do want to like and share your comments with us in the comment section and follow us. Share. please share. You can use this video to propose to anyone you want to propose to. And also, that's it right here. Follow our pages at Catholic for social media on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and on Twitter we have Catholic Vibes G8. CSM. Shout.